If you're over 70 and still doing these 5 things, you're on track to live past 100. If you're over 70 and still doing these 5 simple things, doctors say you're practically guaranteed to hit 100. But here's the terrifying reality. Most people your age have already quit doing them without realizing they just signed their own death warrant. A shocking 20-year Harvard study revealed that people who abandon these behaviors die 12 years earlier than those who don't. The 5th one will blow your mind. It's not what any doctor will tell you, but it's the strongest predictor of whether you'll see your 100th birthday. Right now, you're either doing these things and adding decades to your life, or you've stopped and are aging faster than you need to. Which are you? Today I'm sharing the 5 behaviors that separate centenarians from everyone else. I'll show you exactly what they are, why they work, and how you can start implementing them immediately, even if you think it's too late. Here's what you'll discover. The brain activity that actually reverses aging, the social secret that cuts your risk of dementia by 50%, the movement habit that has nothing to do with the gym, the purpose-driven approach that adds decades to your life, and the mindset shift that's more powerful than any medication. The 5th one is the most surprising. It's something doctors rarely mention, but researchers call the longevity multiplier. Before we dive in, hit that like button if you're ready to discover what it really takes to live past 100 and drop a comment telling me your current age. I want to celebrate every milestone with you. 1. Still learning new skills. The first behavior that separates centenarians from everyone else is continuing to learn new skills well into their 70s, 80s and beyond. Let me tell you about Ruby, a 74-year-old grandmother who decided to learn Python programming after her grandson showed her a coding app. Everyone thought she was crazy. "Why would you torture yourself learning something so complicated?" her friends asked. But Ruby persisted, spending 30 minutes each morning with coding tutorials. 2 years later, she built her first app, a recipe organizer that her entire family now uses. But here's the incredible part. Her doctor noticed improvements in her memory, reaction time, and problem-solving abilities during routine cognitive tests. This isn't just a feel-good story. It's science in action. When we learn new skills, our brains create fresh neural pathways through a process called neuroplasticity. Think of it like building new roads in your brain's highway system. The more roads you have, the better traffic flows, even when some routes get blocked. Dr. Michael Merzenich, a neuroscientist at UCSF, found that adults who regularly engage in new learning show brain activity patterns similar to people 20, 30 years younger. Your brain literally becomes more youthful when you challenge it with unfamiliar tasks. But here's what most people get wrong. They think learning has to be academic or difficult. That's not true. The key is novelty and challenge, not complexity. Here are powerful examples of brain-boosting skills you can start today. Learn a musical instrument. Even 15 minutes of piano daily creates new neural connections. Master a craft like pottery, knitting, or woodworking. The hand-eye coordination builds brain resilience. Try a new language using apps like Duolingo. Bilingual seniors show 5-year delays in dementia onset. Explore technology. Video calling grandchildren, using social media, or trying new apps all count. The secret is progressive challenge. Start with something slightly outside your comfort zone, then gradually increase difficulty. Ruby didn't start with complex programming. She began with simple Hello World exercises. Here's your action plan. Choose one skill that genuinely interests you. Curiosity is the brain's best fuel. Commit to just 15-30 minutes daily. Consistency beats intensity. Find a learning buddy or join a group. Social learning amplifies brain benefits. Celebrate small wins. Each milestone reinforces neural pathways. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. At 70, you have decades of life experience that actually makes learning easier in many ways. You understand patience, persistence, and the value of gradual progress. What new skill have you always wanted to try? Drop it in the comments. Your courage might inspire someone else to start their learning journey. The second behavior that centenarians share is maintaining and building strong social connections throughout their lives. This isn't just about having people around, it's about meaningful relationships that provide emotional support, shared experiences, and genuine connection. Meet Stanley, a 78-year-old widower who lost his wife of 52 years. For months he barely left his house, ordering groceries online and avoiding social situations. His adult children were worried. He seemed to be aging rapidly, forgetting conversations and losing interest in activities he once loved. Then Stanley made a decision that changed everything. He joined a community garden project, initially just to get some fresh air. But something magical happened. He met Maria, a 72-year-old retired teacher who shared his love of tomatoes, and David, an 80-year-old veteran with incredible stories. Within 6 months, Stanley had formed a tight-knit group of gardening friends. They met twice weekly, shared meals, and supported each other through health challenges. Stanley's family noticed he seemed sharper, more energetic, and genuinely happy again. This transformation isn't unusual, it's backed by powerful research. The Harvard study of adult development, which followed participants for over 80 years, found that strong relationships are the single biggest predictor of happiness and longevity. People with robust social connections live an average of 7 years longer than those who are socially isolated. But here's the shocking part. Loneliness affects your health like smoking 15 cigarettes daily. It increases inflammation, weakens immune function, and raises cortisol levels, the stress hormone that accelerates aging. Dr. Susan Pinker's research on blue zones, areas where people regularly live past 100, found that centenarians prioritize face-to-face social interaction above almost everything else. They maintain intergenerational friendships, stay connected to their communities, and continue building new relationships throughout their lives. The key is quality over quantity. You don't need dozens of friends, you need a few meaningful connections that provide emotional support, shared interests, and regular interaction. Here's how to build and maintain these vital connections. Join groups based on genuine interests, book clubs, hobby groups, volunteer organizations, or faith communities. The shared activity creates natural bonding opportunities. Prioritize face-to-face interaction. Video calls are good, but in-person meetings create deeper connections through body language and shared experiences. Become a connector. Introduce people from different parts of your life. Being the person who brings others together strengthens your own social network. Practice active listening. Ask questions, remember details about people's lives, and follow up on conversations. People feel valued when you remember what matters to them. Intergenerational friendships are particularly powerful. Spending time with younger people keeps you mentally flexible and exposes you to new perspectives, while your wisdom and experience provide value to them. Don't let technology replace human connection, but use it to enhance relationships. Text family members, share photos on social media, and use video calls to maintain long-distance friendships. If you're naturally introverted, start small. One meaningful coffee conversation weekly is more valuable than attending large social events that drain your energy. The goal is connection, not performance. Remember, it's never too late to form new friendships. Many centenarians report that some of their most meaningful relationships began in their 70s and 80s. What's one step you could take this week to strengthen a relationship or build a new one? Share your plan in the comments. Let's build a community right here. The third behavior isn't about hitting the gym or running marathons. It's about staying naturally active throughout your daily life. This distinction is crucial because many people think physical activity means formal exercise, but centenarians show us something different. Let me introduce you to Carmen, an 83-year-old who has never owned a gym membership or followed a workout routine. Yet she's more physically capable than people 20 years younger. Her secret? She lives actively. Carmen tends a large vegetable garden, walks to the market daily, takes stairs instead of elevators, and helps care for her great-grandchildren. She cooks from scratch, cleans her own house, and maintains her yard. Last month, she helped her neighbor move furniture, something that would challenge people half her age. Carmen embodies what researchers call natural movement, the kind of physical activity that's woven into daily life rather than confined to specific workout sessions. This approach comes from studying the world's blue zones, regions where people regularly live past 100. In Sardinia, Italy, centenarians walk steep hills daily while tending sheep. In Okinawa, Japan, they garden, practice Tai Chi, and walk as their primary transportation. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, they do physical work well into their 90s. The common thread? They don't separate physical activity from daily life. Movement is simply how they live. Here's why this matters more than formal exercise. Natural movement happens throughout the day, keeping your metabolism active and joints mobile. It's sustainable because it's purposeful rather than forced. It engages multiple muscle groups in functional ways that translate to real-world strength. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that people who stay naturally active have better balance, stronger bones, improved cardiovascular health, and sharper cognitive function than those who exercise intensely but sit most of the day. But here's the key insight. You don't need to be a farmer or live in a blue zone to adopt this approach. You can build natural movement into your current lifestyle. Start with these practical strategies. Walk for errands whenever possible, to the bank, pharmacy, or coffee shop. Take phone calls standing or walking. Many people find they think more clearly while moving. Use stairs instead of elevators. Start with one flight and gradually build endurance. Garden or do yard work. Even container gardening on a balcony provides valuable movement. Clean your own house. Vacuuming, dusting, and organizing are excellent functional exercises. Cook from scratch. Standing, chopping, and stirring all count as activity. Play with grandchildren. This natural movement is joyful and provides emotional benefits too. Dance to music while doing household tasks. It adds joy while increasing heart rate. Park farther away or get off the bus one stop early. Small changes accumulate. The beauty of natural movement is that it's infinitely adaptable. If you use a walker, you can still tend plants, prepare food, and engage in seated activities. If you have limited mobility, focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. Balance is crucial. Incorporate activities that challenge stability, like standing on one foot while brushing teeth or walking heel to toe down a hallway. Balance exercises prevent falls, which are a leading cause of injury in older adults. Strength comes from daily activities too. Carrying groceries, lifting laundry baskets, and rising from chairs without using your hands all build functional strength. The goal isn't to become an athlete. It's to maintain the physical capabilities that allow you to live independently and engage fully in life. Start small and build gradually. Choose one natural movement activity you enjoyed when you were younger and find ways to incorporate it into your current routine. What's one way you could add more natural movement to your day? Share your ideas in the comments. Your suggestion might inspire someone else to get moving. The fourth behavior that separates centenarians from everyone else is maintaining a strong sense of purpose throughout their lives. The Japanese call this ikigai, your reason for being, the thing that gets you up in the morning with enthusiasm. Let me tell you about Leonard, a 79-year-old retired accountant who felt lost after retirement. For 45 years, his identity was tied to his career. Without the structure of work, he felt invisible and unimportant. He spent months watching television and felt his mental sharpness declining. Then Leonard discovered something that changed everything. His neighbor mentioned that the local elementary school needed volunteer reading tutors. Leonard thought, what could I possibly offer? But something inside nudged him to try. His first day was awkward. The children seemed so different from when he was young. But by the third week, something magical happened. A struggling second grader named Alex suddenly brightened when Leonard arrived. "Mr. Leonard!" he'd shout, running to share his progress. 2 years later, Leonard tutors 3 days a week and has watched dozens of children discover the joy of reading. Teachers tell him he's made a profound difference. But Leonard knows the truth. These children saved him. He has purpose again. This isn't just a heartwarming story. It's science. Research from the University of Michigan found that people with a strong sense of purpose live an average of 7 years longer than those without one. They have lower rates of heart disease, stroke, and Alzheimer's disease. Dr. Patricia Boyle from Rush University Medical Center studied over 1,000 seniors and found that those with high purpose scores were 2.4 times less likely to develop dementia. Purpose literally protects your brain. But here's what many people misunderstand. Purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just needs to be meaningful to you and provide a sense of contribution beyond yourself. Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, wrote that we can endure almost anything if we have a why to live for. This becomes even more crucial as we age and face inevitable losses, health changes, death of loved ones, physical limitations. Purpose provides resilience. When you have something meaningful to contribute, temporary setbacks become obstacles to overcome rather than reasons to give up. Here are powerful ways to discover or rediscover your purpose. Reflect on your values. What principles have guided your life? How can you honor those values in your current circumstances? Consider your skills and experiences. What knowledge could you share? What problems could you help solve? Think about causes that matter to you: environmental protection, education, poverty, animals, or community development. Your passion is often a clue to your purpose. Look for intergenerational opportunities. Mentoring, teaching, or sharing your wisdom with younger people creates mutual benefit. Volunteer strategically. Choose organizations that align with your interests and use your skills. Random volunteering feels like work, but purposeful volunteering feels like a calling. Consider creative expression. Writing, art, music, or crafts can be deeply purposeful, especially if you share your creations with others. Family connections often provide purpose, being the family historian, organizing reunions, or supporting grandchildren's activities. Some people find purpose in personal growth, learning new skills, overcoming challenges, or modeling resilience for others. The key is to start small and listen to what energizes you. Purpose often emerges from action rather than contemplation. Leonard didn't know tutoring would become his passion until he tried it. Don't wait for purpose to find you. Actively explore what might be meaningful. Talk to friends about their volunteer experiences. Visit organizations you admire, or simply pay attention to what problems in your community frustrate you. Frustration often points toward purpose. Remember, purpose can evolve. What motivated you at 40 might be different from what motivates you at 70. That's normal and healthy. The goal is to always have something that makes you feel needed and valuable. Purpose doesn't require physical ability. People with limited mobility can mentor others, write letters, make phone calls, or provide emotional support. Your life experience is valuable regardless of your physical capabilities. What gives your life meaning right now? If you're not sure, what cause or activity might you want to explore? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your purpose might inspire someone else to discover theirs. The fifth and most surprising behavior that centenarians share is maintaining an optimistic outlook and practicing gratitude even in the face of life's inevitable challenges. This isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on what's good while acknowledging what's difficult. Meet Rosetta, an 86-year-old who has faced more than her share of hardships. She lost her husband to cancer, survived a heart attack, and lives with arthritis that makes simple tasks challenging. Yet anyone who meets Rosetta is struck by her infectious laughter and genuine joy in small moments. Every morning, Rosetta writes 3 things she's grateful for in a small notebook. Yesterday's entries were simple but profound. The cardinal that visits my bird feeder, my daughter's phone call, and the fact that my hands still work well enough to write. When asked about her secret, Rosetta says, "I decided long ago that I could focus on what I've lost or what I still have. Both are true, but only one gives me energy to keep living." This mindset isn't just admirable, it's scientifically proven to extend life. The Harvard study of adult development found that optimistic people live 11 to 15% longer than pessimists. They also have better cardiovascular health, stronger immune systems, and lower rates of depression. Dr. Suzanne Segerstrom from the University of Kentucky studied optimism and aging for decades. Her research shows that optimistic people have longer telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes that shorten with age. Essentially, positive thinking slows cellular aging. But here's what surprised researchers most. Optimism can be learned. It's not a fixed personality trait you're born with, it's a skill you can develop at any age. The key is understanding what optimism actually means. It's not denying reality or pretending problems don't exist. True optimism is believing that you can influence outcomes through your actions and that setbacks are temporary rather than permanent. Gratitude is optimism's powerful partner. When you regularly acknowledge what's good in your life, your brain literally rewires to notice more positive experiences. Dr. Robert Emmons from UC Davis found that people who practice gratitude sleep better, have stronger relationships, and report higher life satisfaction. Here's how to cultivate both optimism and gratitude. Start a gratitude practice. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. They can be simple: sunshine, a good meal, or a comfortable bed. The key is consistency, not profundity. Practice positive reframing. When facing challenges, ask, "What can I learn from this?" or "How might this make me stronger?" This doesn't minimize difficulties, but helps you find growth opportunities. Focus on what you can control. You can't control aging, illness, or loss, but you can control how you respond. This distinction is crucial for maintaining optimism in difficult circumstances. Celebrate small wins, acknowledge progress no matter how minor. Walk to the mailbox despite joint pain, that's worth celebrating. Had a good conversation with a neighbor, that's a victory. Limit negative media consumption. Staying informed is important, but constant exposure to negative news can skew your worldview. Balance news consumption with positive content. Practice loving kindness meditation. Spending a few minutes daily sending good wishes to yourself and others builds optimism and compassion. Surround yourself with positive people. Pessimism and optimism are both contagious. Choose your social influences wisely. Use positive self-talk. Notice when you're being overly critical of yourself and consciously choose kinder internal dialogue. Share good news. When something positive happens, tell someone about it. Sharing joy amplifies it. Remember past resilience. You've survived 100% of your worst days so far. That's evidence of your strength and reason for optimism about future challenges. This doesn't mean ignoring grief, disappointment, or legitimate concerns. Healthy optimism acknowledges difficult emotions while maintaining hope for the future. The most important insight: optimism and gratitude become more powerful with age, not less. You have decades of experience overcoming challenges, building relationships, and finding joy in unexpected places. This wisdom is the foundation for authentic optimism. Many centenarians report that their happiest years came after 70 because they finally understood what truly mattered. They stopped worrying about things beyond their control and started appreciating what they had. What's one thing you're genuinely grateful for today? How do you maintain hope when facing challenges? Share your wisdom in the comments. Your optimism might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Now you've discovered the 5 behaviors that separate centenarians from everyone else. Continuing to learn new skills, maintaining strong social connections, staying naturally active, having a sense of purpose, and embracing optimism and gratitude. Here's the beautiful truth. These behaviors work together like instruments in an orchestra. When you're learning something new, you often connect with others who share that interest. When you have purpose, you naturally move more and feel more optimistic. When you're grateful, you attract deeper relationships and find energy for new challenges. Meet Walter, a 94-year-old who embodies all 5 behaviors. He learned to use a computer at 85 to video chat with family, volunteers at the animal shelter twice weekly, walks there instead of driving, and starts each day writing in his gratitude journal. Walter doesn't just survive, he thrives. The contrast is striking. People who abandon these behaviors often become isolated, sedentary, and focused on decline. They exist rather than live. But those who embrace them, regardless of health challenges or life circumstances, maintain vitality, joy, and purpose well into their final years. The choice is yours. You can view aging as decline or as an opportunity to focus on what truly matters. These 5 behaviors aren't just about living longer, they're about living better, with more joy, connection, and meaning than you ever imagined possible. Your age isn't your limitation. It's your foundation for wisdom, resilience, and authentic happiness. If this inspired you to embrace these life-extending behaviors, smash that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. Your share could literally add years to someone's life. I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 behaviors resonates most with you? Are you already doing some of them, or is there one you want to start today? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Remember, it's never too late to start living the life you deserve. Take action on just one of these behaviors today. Your future self will thank you.